This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
So Rhoda, how you doing? How's your day?
I'm good, thanks. It's about 5 o'clock here in the UK, so it's like almost dinner time.
That's awesome. Anyways,
Good morning.
yes, good morning here. So again, hey guys, here it is Ryan, aka Dagger Boy, and this is my partner Kent. Welcome to our broadcast today. We have a special guest, the pink Operation Overdrive Ranger herself, Rhoda Montemayor. Hi, Rhoda.
Hi.
How's it going?
How's it going? Well, we already said that. So, but anyways, let's start the interview. So, Rhoda, can you tell us about yourself? Like, summarize.
That's a good question. I'm from the UK. I grew up in London. I'm obviously an actress. I'm from a Philippine background, so both my parents are from the Philippines, but I was born and raised here in London. I don't know what else. I'm a mum now, so I've got two kids.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's really a real trooper. Like having kids, and you're a Power Ranger. You're an awesome hero too. So.
Yeah. Well, they're not that impressed. Like my son. Oh? Well, the first time my oldest son, who's 4 years old now, saw me on the TV, he did say, "Oh, mommy," and then he kind of forgot about that. And now whenever he sees me on TV, he's like, "Oh, mommy's on TV again." Like, and he doesn't even look. He doesn't really care. Okay. He said the other day, and I posted it on my Instagram. He was like, I was saying, "What do you want to watch? Do you want to watch this? Do you want to watch that?" And then Power Rangers was an option. He was like, "I'm allergic to Power Rangers now. I like Transformers." I was like, "Okay, I didn't know how to take that." Like,
I mean, technically, Power Rangers is kind of owned by the same company as Transformers now. So yeah.
I think the question that came into my head was, do I need to talk to my son about what allergic actually means? Did he really mean he was allergic, or no?
Let's see. Awesome.
How did you get started in acting?
I actually started, I went to performing arts college. I guess it's similar to something like Juilliard in New York. That's the comparison I can make. And I wanted to be more of a dancer. So I did more of the dancers course while I was at college. And the acting was a bit of I'd left college doing things like music videos and musical theatre shows. And my older sister is an actress, and she was auditioning for a role on a UK a UK drama, like a series, and she was auditioning for older sister, and she said to her agent, "I've got a younger sister who's in the business as well." So they managed to get me an audition for that, hoping that maybe we'd both get the parts. We didn't, but it got my foot in the door, and since then I just started auditioning. So I transitioned from dancing slowly to acting.
Nice.
Awesome. That's awesome. It's actually good to know you're it's actually interesting to know you're a dancer, because I'm also a dancer. So I kind of felt your kind of experience too. So yeah, I took like 7 years in dance academy. So
wow.
Yeah. But anyways, he choreographs some of the our convention videos.
Yeah.
Oh really? Awesome.
Yeah.
See those then.
Yeah, so on our YouTube page, we actually do vlogs, like little music videos for like some of the owners and some of the press people, and they asked us to do a dance. So I kind of choreographed some of the dances.
Amazing! What kind of dance do you do?
There's
my UK dance. What kind of dance do you do?
I'm trained in ballroom.
Amazing.
Salsa, salsa, Latin, waltz, hip hop, urban. I can't do those I can't tumble anymore because I do have a back problem now, but back then I used to do it. So yeah, so kind of like those style.
Oh, well, I'm impressed.
Can you tell us what was the audition process like for Power Rangers?
So they told me I was auditioning for Power Rangers, so I knew what I was auditioning for, and the role was always called Rose Ortiz, and they gave me this a scene with Dax. And it was never anything that was ever worked into the actual script. It was like a scene. I presume they just written for the auditions, and it was Rose and Dax. I went to the auditions in London. It was, I remember feeling I'm not going to get this because it was so big, and I thought and they weren't very specific with the role as well, so it was open to different ethnicities. Mm-hmm. Well, with the surname Ortiz, it lends to sort of a Hispanic sort of background, but that's quite a huge range still. So there's all sorts of shades of brown at the audition. And I was in the middle of actually I was shooting a music video at the time, so I had to sneak out of the filming in my hair and makeup for the music video to do this audition. And I kind of, in a weird way, because I didn't think I was going to get it, I had to, I was kind of like in a rush because I knew I had to get back. I was getting paid for this other job, so it was a paid job that I was sneaking out of. You know, they were very kind to allow me to do it, but it was a bit stressful. And to be honest, I wasn't really focused on doing a really good audition because I was stressed and I was like really busy. So I did that, and they wanted to see some self-choreographed moves as well, some like fighting. They said, well, can you just do a few, like, I don't know, punches and kicks and jumps? Like, all right. And I guess they just wanted to see how I moved, like, you know, my physicality. And then after that, it was actually quite a quick process, because you'd think for something like this, they would have been like numerous auditions, but it was just another callback after that. And they told me that it was between me and two other girls. So, and they wanted to also see me without the hair and makeup, because I was dressed up for this music video that I was doing. I was dressed up as like an Audrey Hepburn sort of character. So I had false lashes. I had my hair in like a big updo with like golden, like with diamond earrings. You know, like, have you seen the film Breakfast from Tiffany's? Breakfast at Tiffany's, sorry.
I think I did.
Quite an iconic sort of look. So they'd made me look like her. So I was really I was really made up and hair up and everything. So they said for this audition, they said, we kind of want to see what you look like more naturally. So yeah. And the second audition, it was with the team, sort of live streamed. They were watching me live, but from the States. And yeah, after that, I got the role.
Nice. And luckily we got you and you got two other people, so awesome. Like, and again, like I was like 10 years old. No, like, sorry, I was 15 years old when you got 10. Yeah, I was like 12 when you got casted. So I was 12 when you're like, I was 12 when your season started, and I was like, and I found out you were Filipino, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually relate. Like, I can go up look up to someone. So thank you.
Nice. Oh,
I was gonna say that to you.
What was the filming experience like while filming Power Rangers?
Oh, you know what? It was the best, one of the best jobs I've ever done, if not the best. We filmed out in New Zealand, in the North Island. So that, that country will always have a special place in my heart forever. And so the cast and the crew was amazing. And I know people always say that about the people they work with, but really and truly, I've done other jobs since then and nothing like this. They really felt like family, and I'm still really good friends with people, some of the people I work with to today. It was so much fun. I mean, it was hard work because, we had to do stunt training, and it's very, you know what it's like. You've seen the show. It's so physical. And I know there's a lot of sort of like helmet action. So some of the stuff is like actually stunt, the stunt actors. But it's still very physical. It's still a very physical show. They had to make sure that we were always fit for our own sort of stunt. And it was quite grueling. I remember it being a really long week. I think there was one point where we were working 6 days a week, and when you're up from crack of dawn and I can't even remember what time we'd go back. We were always really tired, and because a lot of the stuff that we filmed was on location, you're exposed to all the elements as well. So when it was really hot, you're exposed to the heat. When it's really windy, and I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about every day, it does sort of wear you down. but I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it was challenging, but I'd totally do it again. Best job, hands down.
Awesome. And again, like, I mean, like, I actually hearing from you and other Rangers, they also have the same thing. Like, the experience while filming there was incredible, and they made great memories. And they keep telling me you should go to New Zealand. I was like, and I'm planning to in sometime in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, totally.
They
Yes.
should have a Power Ranger museum down there.
Yeah, you should. Honestly,
It should. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, it was a really weird thing because at the time, Power Rangers, and I don't know if it's still the case now, but at the time when we were filming, it was banned from their TV. So we were able to have some sort of, even though we were filming out in the streets and everything, people didn't really know much about I mean, I don't know. I don't want to word it right. They knew, obviously people know about the Power Rangers, but it wasn't as big as in countries where they were actually showing the show on TV. And we're talking about how many years ago? It was like 2007. So the internet did exist, obviously, but it's nothing like it is now. It was a different sort of beast back then. So yeah, so we kind of had it was like a quiet sort of experience when we weren't on camera because we could still be anonymous, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we've heard about the New Zealand not showing the show for a long time, and
yeah.
Is it still the case, or is that
It's still the case. It's still the case because I do have a friend who's also a Red Ranger. He was like 2 years ago, and they said he couldn't even watch their first episode when they were filming there, and they were still filming like that was in January.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't even see the first episode till the year after they got premiered when they came back home.
Wow, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah.
Do you have any fun behind the scene moments with your cast?
Oh yeah, loads.
Like any pranksters?
Oh yeah, loads. There's too many to mention, but I'd say me and James, who played the Red Ranger, we got on really well. And in fact, last time he came to London, like maybe a couple of months ago, and we met up here. And I'd say we all got on really well, but for pranking, like it was me and him. And sometimes me and Caitlin would get together and do pranks on the guy. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when you're having a day, like laughing really can get you through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help. Like laughing does help. With getting. That's true. That's really true.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what your experience was like while filming the movie The Knot?
Oh, I love that movie.
It was good. Again, nice bunch of people. It was really nice to be filming a British comedy. If you've seen the film, then you know it's the character's very different to Rose. I was actually really nervous filming that because even though it lasted for like a split second, it was my first like sex scene. And filming that scene, which took half a second, but to film it, obviously it was longer than half a second filming it. We had to do a couple of takes, and I actually had to be naked. I was really nervous because the cast and the crew and the director and the producers, they were really helpful because it was a closed set, so the only thing that was in the room with me and the other actor was actually the camera, and they all left the room and they were controlling everything from another room. So they tried to make me feel a bit, less exposed and less safe. But yeah, the guy that I did that sex scene with was a real life stripper as well. So without getting graphic, he was very comfortable, whereas I was not.
I mean, my favorite scene was, I think I haven't watched it since I was wait, you were in a scene where you were in a bicycle, right? Well, you're a bridesmaid, right?
Yeah, I was a bridesmaid, and I was like the wild character.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Because I haven't watched it since like 2012. So.
Yeah.
But I love that. I really love it when we went and watch. I was like, oh, this is a fun movie. And then I recognized, like, oh, that's her. Can you tell us your thoughts in the Power Ranger about the Power Ranger fandoms?
You guys, Power Rangers fans. Well, you know what? It's my only experience of fandom, other than another TV series I did, but this is a lot bigger because we're talking about years, something like a franchise that has been going for many years. So we're talking about a lot of fans. And I find that the fans are really, the ones that I've experienced are really loyal, really supportive, just genuinely really nice. I haven't really experienced anything negative, apart from maybe at the very beginning when we first started. I went on something called Ranger Board before our show had even aired. And I think it was a bit of a mistake because when you're just curious, when you read some of the threads, you're like, oh my gosh, they're really, some of these guys are really mean. Yeah. But this is at the beginning, and I think after the show came out, and I actually met some fans when we went to the first Morphicon, my view on that changed. I was a lot more comfortable around fans, and I found them to be really, really lovely, really friendly, just genuinely wanting to get to know me and just have loads of questions, ask more, and just really into the show. I can see through some of the comments and social media that some fans have their favorite seasons, so their least favorite seasons. But that's Power Rangers. It's so varied. Every season is so different. Every cast is so different to the last one that you're not gonna be able to please everyone, are you? And obviously you're gonna attract different people. And with the fans, they come into Power Rangers at different stages of their lives. Like you mentioned earlier, Ryan, that my season was when you were what 12 or something.
Yeah, 12 or 11. I forgot, but around that time.
So for some fans, my season might have been the first season that they'd seen, or it might have been, I don't know, the 10th season, or very from the beginning. I think when we did it, if we were celebrating the 15th anniversary of the US version.
Yes.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so you're talking about many fans and over many years. So yeah, and I totally get why they'd have different opinions of things. Mm-hmm. It's just natural.
I mean, yes, your season was really unique because it felt like Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
So, and I love Indiana Jones. Like, I am a huge Harrison Ford fan.
Yeah.
And I actually have all the DVDs. So yeah. But that's why I felt like your season was, and that was really interesting. Like you guys collecting like gems and stuff like that. Yeah. I actually thought when I was younger, I thought you actually did travel to these places. I was like, oh, this is cool. Until I found out it was New Zealand, so I was like, oh. Anyway.
What's also kind of cool, something I didn't even notice about your season till years later, is that the monsters from your guys' season are actually based off the designs of old Megazords. So
yeah,
that was really cool.
I didn't know that myself.
Yeah, Moltor was the most obvious because he looked like the original Megazord. But yeah, like all your guys' season's monsters were based off of the Megazords from previous seasons.
Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you.
No problem. Where do you see your character Rose at this point in her life?
In the Power Ranger universe.
In the Power Ranger universe. She went back to teaching, but I think that she would have done something quite significant, like, I don't know, probably worked alongside or been the equivalent to someone like Elon Musk, like developing something that goes to Mars or something, you know what I mean? Something extraordinary like that, working for NASA. I don't know. I think she would have definitely been someone like Elon Musk, making her
technically, your character did kind of come back for a 20th anniversary, but that was a suit actor. So, but he put canon.
I did see that episode, and it was so. I remember that episode being so. It was so lovely because I can imagine for fans for them to see different Rangers from so many different seasons. That was quite epic. But I was really disappointed because they were like, "Oh look, there's Mystic Force," and then they were naming them all, and you kind of just saw Operation Overdrive, but they didn't mention us. So I was like, "Oh, where's our mention?"
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. There's actually some actors I will not mention here. They actually, when they saw their seats, they were very disappointed. Like, hey, they didn't even give us a call, and we're willing to come back too. So you're not the only one. I actually knew some actors that felt the same way.
Well, it's really cool to see your head.
Yeah, but it'll be really cool to see you back. It'll be really cool to see you back. I hope you come back. Yeah. Like, so Hasbro, if you're watching this,
Love
please,
to, yeah.
please get her back. I mean, I would love to see her back.
Wink, wink.
Do you have any advice to any aspiring actor or actress?
Loads of advice, but I think for this kind of industry, you've got to be really thick-skinned. You know, when you watch stuff like America's Got Talent or those shows where you see the live auditions, that's your life all the time.
Oh.
I mean, not literally, like, that's quite extreme. They audition in front of like millions of people, and they get rejected or accepted in front of millions of people. But the reality is that you are probably, unless you're part of that really small percentage and you're someone like Scarlett Johansson or, you know, someone really big who's made it really big, you're going to be one of those actors who has to get really used to hearing no, like loads of rejection. So you've got to have a really thick skin and be realistic with yourself. But you, at the same time, you can't stop trying as well. Can't stop you, because you never know where this is going to take you. I mean, I didn't expect to get Power Rangers because I knew there was going to be a lot of actresses up for the same role, and they weren't just looking in the UK. I knew that, you know, I was like, oh, I'm up against people from all over the world. So, but to get the role was amazing. So sometimes, you know, it does happen. You know, you'll be surprised. So I'd say thick skin and resilience, you know, never giving up. But also accepting that unless you are from a well-off, find a way to support yourself, or maybe find a way to live with your parents a bit longer at the same time as auditioning, because financially it can be tough. Yeah, because you can imagine you're not going to be working sometimes a lot of time, or you're in and out of work. It's very unstable. So like you got to pay the bills, or you live with your mom and dad, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very relatable. Yes, that is very relatable.
I think, I guess, in terms of freelance work as well, not just for acting, anyone who is in sort of freelance industry where where work comes and goes, there's got to be some sort of sense of reality there as well. Yeah, I mean, I've worked some really, at the time, felt like soul destroying jobs where I'm like, why am I doing this? But it was the only kind of job that I could get, and and also be an actress at the same time, because you need a job that will allow you to be flexible. Like, oh, I've got an audition tomorrow. Can I go? Can I take time off work? You know, so there's not many jobs that will say, yeah, sure, we don't need you tomorrow. Yeah, so jobs like, I don't know. I don't want to say, because some people might be in those jobs now. I don't want to be dissing anyone's jobs, but you know, that's the reality of being someone who's self-employed.
Right.
Nice. I mean, hey, like even the struggles, at least you followed your dream. That's what matters.
Yeah. That's
what matters. At least you didn't end up like something that you didn't want to be.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm really sorry for anyone listening out there, like if I'm like the voice of doom. But I'm sure you've heard before people saying, oh, you know, follow your dreams. But I wanted to be real.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to, because my parents wanted me to become a nurse in typical Filipino stereotype. But I didn't like. I did try it for 2 years, but I hated it. So I instead became a researcher, because I actually do like researching.
Yeah, well, I've got Filipino family too, and like my cousins are doctors, dentists, they're like, you know, in that sort of medical field. And I think it's only me and my sister really who like the artists.
I can relate to you, Ate. Okay.
It's like, do what you want to do, but have to be flexible. Any upcoming projects you'd like to share with your fans?
I've been auditioning. So I've been on maternity leave recently because I had a baby in 2017.
Oh, congrats.
He's still 1 year old. He's going to be 2 soon. But I decided, because I've got 2 kids that are under 5. They're still little. I wanted to be a mother and be around for them. So I took some time off work, and I was very was very selective about what kind of jobs I'd be auditioning for, and now I've got to the point where I felt like, oh, you know what, I can slowly ease myself back into the acting, and so I have been auditioning recently for some projects that might be filming in Australia, but I don't really feel like I can comment on those because I haven't been offered any roles. So and when I do get offered something solid, then I'll probably be happy to share.
Awesome. And we will happily share it for you too. We need help. Yeah. So so I do have one more. Since the fans want, okay, we have a lot of fans here, Harry Potter fans, and since we talked to you earlier, can you reveal your fandom of Harry Potter and you actually auditioned for it?
Yeah, I love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. They were like, I remember when the books came out, I couldn't put them down. And I really, 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 really want to see the theatre show, that's on West End at the moment that you have to see in 2 visits.
Mm-hmm.
But because of my situation, I haven't been able to, because it's quite a big thing for me to even get out of the house sometimes when I've got my kids at home. So I'm a massive fan of Harry Potter, love the books, love the films. And yeah, I did audition for one of the roles. I auditioned for Cho Chan years ago. I didn't get it. I really, 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 really wanted it, obviously, but totally think that the right person was cast for the role. When I watched the girl who got the role, I thought she's perfect for Cho Chan. It was never meant to be for me. And plus, heritage, so it wouldn't have been right for me to get the role anyway.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you can still do it.
I mean, do you not think that? Oh yeah, but the Scottish accent as well for the actress who played it, I thought it was brilliant. I thought yes, she's the right person. But it would have been so cool to work on Harry Potter. So cool.
You can still get you. You can do it. Fantastic Beasts. I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't say no.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm a massive fan of things that to do with fantasy world, magic, dragons. I love Game of Thrones. I love Harry Potter. I love anything to do with magic, elves. I love Lord of the Rings. You know, anything that can transport you to another universe, another sort of reality. I love that kind of stuff. And it would be an absolute dream if I could get a role in anything like that. Yeah.
Talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah, the last season, so I won't talk about that.
Chronicles before yours was Mystic Force, and it was magic themed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
So for the viewer questions, can I ask her? Okay.
Yeah.
2 things. What happened to Mirtrix? And can we see you in 2020 for PMC?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Mirrortrix, what do you mean? What happened to her character?
She gets locked in a crystal.
Yeah, she sort of role reverses. Like she's the one who ends up being locked in a crystal, the way Camdor was. I found she kind of got a bit too big for her boots, though, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Like the power really went to her head, and that was her comeuppance, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
In 2020, I would love to. I'd love to go. Yeah, I think that I remember talking to Caitlin when she went. Was it last year she went?
Last year.
And she was like, "Oh, you should totally come out." And I was like, "I'd love to, but I've just had a baby. I really can't see myself traveling with the kids at this stage. But yeah, I'd love to come out in 2020. Why not?"
Awesome. Awesome how all Overdrive Rangers. Even Dwayne was asking so I talked to there's a con here in LA. It was a Climb Expo. I was like, so Dwayne, if you had to choose, if you had one cast camera, he's like, it was either your Red Ranger or it was you.
Oh, did he really say that?
Yeah.
Dwayne.
Because he's like, I always see Caitlin, but I actually want to for a con. It'll be fun. It's like, oh well, so if it happens.
Aww.
And Dwayne's amazing. I love the guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, Dwayne.
Dwayne, yeah, he's great. He hands out Once a Ranger scripts.
Yeah, he just gave me one. I actually have it right now here. Oh shoot, I actually do have it here. Let's give me a
What?
sec. I have your script.
Script? Really?
And he actually signed it. I was like,
Was it a copy or was it his actual script?
it was a copy.
Okay.
He was selling it. It was like, kid, since you're a good guy, I'll give you this for like this. Cause like, oh, sweet. And I'll sign it for you free. He's like, oh, awesome.
He gave me one too, but it's off in the other room.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I need to frame this. So for you guys, yes, it actually exists. He's getting copies. So you see Dwayne, he's selling these. Okay. So let's go to fan questions. We have like 30 minutes before, yeah. So let's go. So Auntie Davis says hi.
Hi.
He's like, I genuinely love you on the show. You rock.
Oh, thank you.
Abbas Omar Hussein says, hello, Rhoda. Yay.
Yay.
Everett Sanchez. Oh, that's a good question. Hold up. Let me just take this away. Everett Sanchez has a question for you. What was it like to film Once a Ranger?
You know, it was really, really great to meet Rangers from other seasons. I mean, they were all really lovely, and I know that they could relate to what we were going through as well. But I was also really nervous because we were like the new guys, like the new kids on the block, and especially when it came to Johnny Young Bosch, you know, like, I was like, oh, really? We've got to act alongside him? But he was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He was really, really lovely and really, really easy to work with. But yeah, you kind of felt a bit of pressure because they were more. I felt maybe that they were more experienced, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at least you got to work with an awesome.
Maybe we had. In the end, it was a lot of fun.
Heck, I mean, hey, that episode was epic, actually, and I was surprised. I did well, you know, back then before spoilers happened, that caught me off guard when you just like, oh, it actually came back. So to me, that was epic because I didn't know you guys were a team up. Because remember back then there was no the internet was not big back then. So there was no spoilers, stuff like that. So yeah, Gianna Tilley Reed. Sorry if I butchered your name. Sorry. What was your favorite episode to film? Oops.
A Pirate in Pink.
Oh, forgot about that.
That was so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun. Like you know, dressing up as Rosie the Bold, like doing the pirate accent, and I felt like up until that point, something happened to me. Not weird, but something happened in terms of I felt like Rosie the Bold helped me to relax a little bit as well because she was so out there, so much fun to play, so opposite to Rose, that playing Rosie the Bold helped me as an actress to relax and just, you know, there was parallels between my character Rose and me, Rhoda, as the actress, let's say. Yeah. So yeah, she helped me to loosen up, and it was a lot of fun just being a pirate.
Can you say Rose the Bold?
Oh my gosh.
Arr! Rosie the Bold.
Over here in the stream, guys. Hope you like it. Okay, so Kevin, Shifumi Matsumura says another Ranger has come out of another Overdrive Ranger has come out of hiding. So yes, guys, we got her.
So all thanks to the power of Instagram.
So IG, thank you, and thank you, Kent too. It was Kent who actually helped get Rhoda here. So thank you, Kent. Caleb Callahan, I love on how you're always making sure to help out the team. But at the end, you said being smart is something to be proud of, and that is true.
Yeah.
Intelligence is amazing, guys. It's important. So.
Very
our own member, Jess Messina, she actually loves you and she wants to give you heart emojis.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So Christian says, "Hi Rhoda, what do you miss the most about New Zealand?"
The people. The people are so cool over there. They're so laid back, so friendly. I felt really safe. You know, if I'd meet the others for dinner or we'd go for, you know, just something social, and I feel safe enough to walk home in the middle of the night by myself sometimes. So yeah, I love the place.
Again, you're not the first person to say this to me.
And it's so beautiful over there as well. So beautiful.
I need to go, especially when I visit Hobbiton. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan too, so.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't get to see any of that when it was 2007, and because we'd been out there filming for so long, The others had stayed after we finished, but I was quite homesick, and I like they stayed and they went to visit the South Island, and I really, that's one of my biggest regrets, not staying behind to do some sightseeing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Hopefully next time. Jonas Cody. Again, quick hello. Oh, again, quick hello from Belgium.
Hi.
She's asking about your acting in Belgium. So.
Hi, Jonas. Well, that's the other show I did. So I know that there's fans from Belgium who know me from that show. It's like a cross between, I guess, like Weeds and Breaking Bad. Like it's about a family a farming family who has to end up selling, growing drugs to help themselves out. So yeah, it was such a lovely cast and crew. The guy who plays my husband in that show, I love him so much. Wim, he's like one of my favorite people in the world. Different, another level. There's some jokes in there that only the Belgian people would understand. The Flemish people understand. There's a joke to do with this chocolate sprinkles, which I'm sure Jonas will know. Where I don't want to say what they call it because it would be technically I'd be swearing, but it would be shh of mouse. And there's a scene in it that's quite well known where I'm having breakfast and they use those chocolate sprinkles on my toast. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah, all right. Confuse you guys. Brock Johnson says, awesome, you're so beautiful, Rhoda.
Oh, thank you.
Donnie White says, Operation Overdrive is my favorite season.
Yes! Thank you.
Chris O'Rourke, he's a good friend. He's asked, I mean, you already answered, but he's like, what was your favorite episode to film for Overdrive in?
What was your favorite episode to film for? Well, it was Rosie the Bold, Part and Pink.
Donnie White has a good question. Are you still friends with some of the cast?
Definitely. Still keep in touch with all of them. Haven't seen Samuel for maybe over a year. I think the last time I physically saw Sam was when I was pregnant with my second child, so maybe like in 2017. But I saw James a few months ago, the Red Ranger. I saw Gareth a few months ago, the Blue Ranger, and I've been in touch with Caitlin, so we are all still in touch with each other. I'm still in touch via social media with Dwayne and Rhea and Kelson, who was Norg. So yeah. And, yeah.
What's funny about Kelson is he actually was in the last 2 seasons.
Yes, he was. He's worked in quite a few of the seasons. Wasn't he in SPD as well?
Yes. Also, like Kelson, I don't know if you know it, but he actually became a Power Ranger.
Yes.
Last season. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah, he's been in roughly everything since Dino Thunder, which was 2004.
Oh, I didn't see him in that. I don't remember him in that one.
He was just a brief role in one episode. He was a music producer.
Okay.
I remember that. So Ryan Navak O'Donovan, generic question: what was the feeling of doing the morph for the first time? Oh, that's a good question.
So awkward. And we had to work really hard as a cast, the 5 of us at the time, to get it together, because when the first few times we did it, we were all like out of sync with each other. I mean, we were saying the words at the same time, but we hadn't nailed down the timing of the action, so it didn't look in unison. So we had to get together to just rehearse as just the 5 of us, and we got into a rhythm. Eventually, we found our rhythm, and once we found that, then all the others were a breeze to do. But I remember the first few times it was awkward.
I think we saw some people from Ninja Steel who, during their bloopers, how they had a tough time, just trying to match up,
Yeah.
Yeah, like one actor actually broke his morpher. Okay, when it was real.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because it's all about the morpher, isn't it? And you have to be quite precise as well, where you're hitting marks as well, like the things. So, yeah.
Konoe, sorry if I butcher your name. Sorry. Hi Rhoda, I've asked, would you come back for some sort of any anniversary episode?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
You should bring,
Hasbro, come here.
they should bring you back, and they should bring Mirtrix back. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see Rhea.
Mhm.
But I don't know how they'd
Uh,
they'd have to break her out somehow.
Mhm.
oh my God. You should. Yeah, technically she's not dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not dead. She's just in prison.
Mhm. I always wondered if that was left open, for you guys to come back the next season, but
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Chris Dunn. Oh, that's a good. What's your favorite activity to do with your kids?
What do they like to? They love go. Oh, I have two boys, so they love running around. Today, actually, I took them both to the theater to watch. I don't know if you guys know the book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
I did.
Yeah, so they did a theater production, and it was pretty cool to see their reaction to the colors and the puppets. But other than that, they're happy just to run around. Like, give them an open field, they can just run around for hours.
Daniel's how was filming Potet Home? Is that saying right?
Oh, that was James's film. So the Red Ranger James is a super talented guy, and he can do so many things. Like, he produces music, and he wrote this script while we were out there, like for a short film. And during one of our breaks, like I think we had a week off over filming, he managed to get us together with the script and a small crew, like a camera guy and sound guy, and we filmed this film that James had written about a couple going through a breakup. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was nice. It was nice to work with them on camera on something that was totally different.
Brandon Buzzelli. Hi Rhoda, would you ever be open to coming to Paramorphicon?
Absolutely. I did my first convention a couple of years ago in Belgium. It was the Comic-Con in Belgium.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
I remember thinking, oh, I don't even know if anyone really wants to see me. That I had that kind of feeling, like I've been away for a while and I wasn't really sure if anyone would be interested. So I have that feeling with these conventions sometimes, like, oh, I'm not from one of the original cast members. Like, I don't know if I feel relevant anymore. And I'm not saying this to get any sympathy or anything. I don't want any of that. Oh, come and stroke me. No, but that's honestly how I felt. And I had so many friends saying to me, just go. It's gonna be so much fun. You should just go. And I'm really glad that I did, because I got to meet some actual fans out there, and you realize how the franchise has attracted so many different types of people from different ages, not just like the adult fans, but there were some kids that showed up as well, and I thought, oh, I'm really glad I went. So yeah, definitely, yeah. To answer your question.
Bring her back, and we would love to see you back in Morphicon or any con here in the US. Like, a lot of fans actually do remember you and like you.
Oh,
So
thank
you. Like, heck, even like Dwayne and Caitlin's like booth were actually full in Morphicon, and heck, they could be full. You could be full. Ryan Neville Donovan. Well, Rhoda, Harry Potter could always be to have the chance of getting rebooted. You could always have your second chance.
Bellaramus.
You could be a professor. Just kidding.
Who knows? I you know what? I'd be anything. I'd be happy to do anything in that. Yeah.
Ryan Novak O'Donovan, you actually have good questions. Robert, what was it like filming the pirate episode where Rose was possessed? Was it difficult getting into the mood, or were you just having fun with it?
I had so much fun. No, it was a lot of fun to do that episode.
Mm-hmm.
They actually at one point they had to tell me to slow down a bit. And I had to reshoot the actual scene where I get possessed, where Brownbeard actually enters my body, because the first time we shot it, it was a really quick transformation that I did. It was kind of like, oh. And they were like, the producer, when they actually saw what we'd filmed, they said, oh, we need to reshoot it, because they wanted it more of a slow sort of what's going on sort of thing. So that was actually a reshoot when you look at that.
There's actually one comment again. Ryan's actually so he says, Rhoda, I actually want to thank you for your work on Power Rangers. Because when I was 13, watching your character help me show me that being a smart isn't as bad as you think, and you can actually got me through middle school. So
Oh, and thank you for sharing that. That's really amazing. I love hearing that. Thank you. And that's one of the positive things about the character we mentioned earlier. Being smart is such a positive thing. And if my boys grow up to be the smart kids, the kids that are into books or computers or things that people would call a geek or a nerd, I'd be happy for them to be that, because in, I don't know, maybe in 10, 15 years time, they're the ones who are going to be doing the amazing things like coding or changing the world in that way. But at the same time, if they're not those kind of boys, if they don't grow up to be those kind of guys, I'd be happy as long as they're happy.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Think that ends our interview and broadcast. And again, thank you, Rhoda, for being a special guest. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining.
Where can they find you in your social media pages?
Well, it's just my name, Rhoda Montemayor. So I don't know if there's more than one on Instagram, but I'm on Instagram and Twitter. But if you're on both, I'd probably say I'm more active on Instagram because I prefer sharing photos.
Awesome. Ken, where can you find you?
You can find me on Instagram at brown_K, and you can also find me on my regular Facebook page, just Kent Brown. And Ryan, where can we find you?
Instagram, DancerBoy247, and please follow us and like us on our Facebook and YouTube and Instagram page. So yes, again, thank you guys. Thank you again, Rhoda, for being a special guest. This is Morphin Network. Again, we're signing out, guys. Thank you guys for being part of this exclusive interview. So thank you guys. As we go goodbye wave. So bye, guys.
Bye.